Google wrote, introducing Monique's new character. GLG, Green Light Gang I don't miss, the underdog's back on top. The news arrives just a few weeks after 50 urged Oprah Winfrey and Tyler Perry to apologize for allegedly blackballing Monique from the industry. I'm sure Oprah Winfrey and Tyler Perry would not want to continue to allow their influence to damage at the real Mo worldwide career, and this has gone on for way too long, he wrote in an Instagram post, before asking them to apologize to the actress. So now would be a great time to apologize because I'm gonna put her back on. 50 subsequently clarified that he spoke with Perry about Monique concerning the situation, and said that the filmmaker told him that he doesn't have any problems with the comedian/actress. I talked to Tyler today. He told me he never told anyone not to hire at the real Mo worldwide, and he is happy I decided to work with her, 50 wrote. He said he couldn't speak for Oprah, but he is sure she is fine with Monique and has even brought her up for things Monique has no idea about. I'm so happy for Mo right now.
Anthony's music has been such an inspiration to many people. It's that kind of music that gives you goosebumps as the words resonate with you. And we want to say first, thank you so much for coming on our show, King Anthony. It's such an honor to have you here.
Thank you for having me. Thank you. I was born in Montego Bay, Jamaica. I grew up in Falmouth, Trelawney. My parents, Beverly and Rallin Fowler. I have only one sibling, and his name is David. He studied mass communication. I ended up studying music. At first, my first love was track and field. Many persons don't necessarily know that. However, my mom didn't think that I was going to be able to focus. As a result of that, I went to a private institution called Harrison Memorial High in Montego Bay. After I graduated, I had the intention of becoming a agronomist, something that have to do with agricultural science and soil testing. However, since they weren't accepting anyone at the time, my mom asked if I've ever thought of studying music, at least doing it for a year. So that's how I ended up at Northern Caribbean University, where I studied music and I also did a degree in communication. I love to travel. I love experiencing new things. I love being in the studio. It's probably one of my favorite things to do is to be in the studio with like-minded people writing, and yeah, I love to have a good time, but I'm also a bit reserved at time. Yeah, so that's a little bit about me. After Northern Caribbean University, I was signed from early. That's something that many people don't know. I was signed to a label at the time called Message Music while attending Northern Caribbean University. Did my first tour with a group called Caris. Outside of representing the university inquiries, I did my first tour in 2006, and after that didn't go so well. I started managing on my own career from then on, which took me some time to understand the business aspect of it. At that time, I became a teacher. So I taught music both at my alma mater, Extension Campus Studies, and also at a high school called Montclair High School in St. Catherine. So I ended up in teaching how, I don't know, but I was successful at it. I In 2011, the runner-up song that was sung in the JCDC adult competition when it comes to gospel was written by myself, and the person was actually my student. Um, yeah, I know I probably sound old, but I'm not that old. But that person was my student, and I developed a more passion for writing um, from early, and that I would say motivated me to even push more into writing. I ended up working with a producer in Jamaica by the name of Dwayne Wire Campbell, a phenomenal guy, and I started building from there, from the what was left off, from the fact that I was signed early, and I had to come out of that contract, and have been working ever since. I was first an artist, I would say, before even becoming a teacher, because even before leaving university, I I was deeply involved in music. I would record almost I would leave from here in Jamaica called Mandeville, Manchester, to Kingston area, specifically Portmore, to record almost every other Wednesday or almost every Wednesday. That was how I got signed, because I was actually renting the facility.
Okay.
So what I've learned is pretty much, I've learned to persevere. I've learned to bounce back from the hard times. Some stuff I just won't get into, because um I've forgiven whomever was a part of certain situation that I had early in my career. But I've learned that you need to understand the business of music. I have to understand the business of music. I studied music. So it would be very bad of me not to want to understand the mere fact that I'm investing in the talent that God has given me. How can I recoup? So I've learned to persevere. I've learned to pray hard. People will see you and have perceptions. So they will think that life is perfect. And the reality of it is they don't know how much hard work you have to put into it. So you have to know what God has given you, what God has laid on your heart. And in so understanding, you have to then say, how am I going to get this done? Now, the best thing you could ever do for yourself is to consult whom gave you the purpose. And so I had a lot of fights with God while being in university. I would cry. I would say, why is this not working out? Why is this not? People don't even understand. So this interview is a very good one for me, so people can probably get a little bit more insight into who I am as a person, because people have a perception of who they think I am. One, because I was involved in modeling, I was involved in fashion, but they don't know my passion for soul winning, my passion for bringing a message of hope to people, a passion for letting people know who's my God.
Yeah.
And yeah, I hope I answered your question.
Yes, you did. Yes, you did. I believe, Jesse, you have some questions for him as well?
Yeah, we do have some questions coming up. I do have one question / comment talking about your passion for God. For our listeners who are listening and not viewing right now, you have a Jesus over COVID sweatshirt on. Can you tell us? It's really good. The COVID part is scratched out, guys, in red. Can you tell us a little bit about that? Or I don't know, like what made you buy it? It's cool. It's a cool shirt.
I actually didn't buy it, I haven't been doing so well, so you guys need to pray for me. So actually this merch was sent to me to do a shoot. So it's funny, when I came in here, I saw it and I said, you know what?
It's
I'm
very
gonna put
bad.
it on.
Yeah.
But I'm actually supposed to do a shoot in this, probably exactly how you see me look at this point in time. And I haven't been able to get to it yet, but I'll hopefully next week so I can get off the photos to this company that wanted me to do some merch for them.
Okay, awesome, awesome. Okay, we have a couple more questions. So one is, what influences the lyrics of your song? What do you want your listeners to experience when they listen to your music?
Truth, transparency. Um, uh, Probably that's why I don't talk too much sometimes because I'm very transparent and I will say it as how it comes. Um, the Christian walk isn't the easiest of walk. However, if we submit, it makes it easier. And a lot of times, the issues that we face, the challenges that we go through, is as a result of not submitting early to God's. Sometimes God will give you a little thing that He's saying, "Hey, I need to get your attention here."
Mhm.
Sometimes we take long to fall into that path. So I want young Christians and young people and people in general to develop a true passion and a true love for Christ. Have a real relationship, a genuine relationship, like how we are conversing at this point in time. Understanding that God is real and it's not a figment of your imagination. And I think if we develop that relationship, the more that relationship grows, we'll tend to have this respect for Him where we'll be reverent in His presence and understand that He's an awesome God. So it all boils down for me in our Christian walk as in developing a relationship with Christ. I want young people to know that if you fall, you can rise above that hurdle. I have fell many times in my life, but the good thing is that I have accepted God's mercy and moved forward instead of staying in the same position. I want young people to know and people in general to know that the best decision they could have made is to accept Christ.
Okay, so we have another question that says, how intentional do you have to be to achieve your success? And what are some things that people may not understand, to dive a little bit more deeper into the business of music versus business as other businesses? I don't know, let's say retail, them starting their own business or something like that.
How intentional. One, you have to know if this is what God has set out for you to do, else you'll be kicking against a stone. From early, I had a should I tell them this? So from early, I had a plan for my own, should I say, career or ministry. Actually, I saw it beyond where I'm from. And people might say, you probably think that you're better than, I don't think I'm better than anyone at all. However, I grew up listening to certain genres. I was never more inclined to my genre within my country. That's always what was interesting. And so when I started doing music, because at that point in time when I was interested in music, I didn't think of doing music professionally. As I said, the way I got into music was as a result of not being able to attend that particular university and starting out doing planning to do 1 year of university studying music and then switch. As I said, first, you have to know as a person, is this what God desires of you? Because sometimes we do things thinking that this is what God wants for our lives, and this is not what He wants. Now, since He has given you this talent, what are you going to do with it? How are you going to nurture it? I decided, outside of the fact that I went to university, to do some more work outside of that, because I wanted to build what He has given to me. So it doesn't come easy. So you have to work. So I'd go to this voice class here. I would partner with different persons to improve on my writing. We cannot do it we cannot be working for God and just do it in any way. You're representing the King of Kings. And I'm not just saying that. If we're going to do it, you have to do it to the best of your ability, means that you're going to invest the time and the effort and the energy into it. The best version of who you, it's a cliche thing, but this is a reality. You're supposed to give the best version of yourself. And the best version of yourself is simply working to the best of your ability, acquiring all the possible knowledge that you can acquire to build what God has given to you. And that is how the story of the talent really reveals itself, in the sense that talent was given. What have you add to it? What have you done with it? Did you go out and search for more knowledge and then build on top of that? Or did you just say, oh, it's not enough? I'm not the best vocalist. I knew this from the get-go. I'm not the most handsome person. So I present myself well. And something I learned early is to partner with people who have something that complements what I have, and who is interested to build what I have so I can present it to the world. Not sure if I answered your question. Hopefully I did. But being intentional is not just saying you're intentional. Intentional meaning you understand your purpose. You're working in your purpose. And it might not happen overnight, because I shed a little tiny bit of tear when I was nominated. Because I've been doing this for a while and I've never been nominated for nothing. I'm not doing it for nomination, but you know, people will say they're having the award show, and as a human, I'm being, as I said, I'm being transparent. As a human being, you'll feel like you're not appreciated or what you're doing. There's a little noise that will come at times. That's the reality. But I honestly learned how to push away that noise and work hard. I work very, very hard, and that's something that I thank God for. To instill, my parents instilled that in me, and what I've acquired is more salvific, is perseverance. I've learned to persevere. That times won't be easy. However, how much are you going to rely on God? I had sleepless nights, cry all the time by myself, because I think this not working as how I wanted. But what I've learned is sometimes we pray for things, not realizing that we are not prepared for it. Before you pray and ask God to open or enlarge your territory, you need to make sure that you're prepared for that. While I'm working, God has revealed my intent and who I am as a person. And if I'm honest, which I should be, or which anyone should be, then I turn to God and I say, hey, my intent is not all right. And I thank you for revealing that to me. I need your help to make sure that my intention is right. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yep.
Yes,
Because
definitely.
sometimes we are doing something and we there's a part. You have to be honest. There's a part of you that want acclamations, want to
Yes.
win this, want to. But then, so God will reveal who you are.
Mm-hmm.
No, you need to accept it and then say, okay, I see what you're saying. You're not prepared. You're not ready. That's what I'm telling you. And I want you to be ready. I want
Yes.
you to realize that that's a weakness that you have and you need to grow past this. So I'm revealing it to you. And I'm not giving this. Yeah, you see, we have to be with God like he's a parent. But he's
Yes.
not a parent. He's the best parent.
Parent,
So
yes.
he's not going to give you
Yes.
a gift that you're not ready for.
Ready for,
If he gave
yes.
you the gift, that means
You're ready.
is enough for you to
Mhm.
hold on to
Yes.
not falter, to not allow the gift to allow you to falter.
Mhm. Well said.
A parent's not going to give a 9-year-old keys to the car to drive.
No matter how if it's a smart parent,
If
no
it's
matter
a
how
smart
much
parent, exactly. A smart parent is not going to do that. They're going to wait till they're age appropriate to start to learn how to do that.
Yep.
All right.
Understanding. You see, there's many things. We have the information. We sometimes don't get the understanding at the same time, but sometimes we don't get the gift of how to apply the information. And if you're not able to apply that information, God is not going to move you. I've invested so much money in music. I thank God for the wife that he gave me. I've invested so much money in music. It will blow your mind, but it's because I had a dream. I had a dream from early. What I would tell any young artist is, I go back to the same thing. You need to know that this is what God intended for you. Sometimes we ourselves birth some ideas that is not what God intends, because it looks good. It looks good. I know a few artists that people see on TV. It looks good, but it's not all gold. It's not. It's the truth. If some people would tell you, they would tell you that it's the truth. So they need to really invest in your talent. If you think this is what God has chosen you to do, you need to invest in your talent. Especially
What
before.
what does when you say invest in your talent? What does that look like?
Okay. And thanks you for allowing me to, so I could express it better. Everything takes stages. So but you want to work with people who brings quality. Because the reality of it is, if someone present me with, say, if somebody should contact me now and say, hey, I want to do a song with you, your presentation is gonna be, I have a very high standard for my own self. So people might think I'm cocky because I might say no. No. If they only knew me as a person, it's only now that I've learned to be more mature and handle it better. But I have to have such a hard time beating up my own self. If someone send me a product that's not where my ears are minded, I'm gonna nice to say at this point in time, no. So you have to build yourself in terms of working at the right people, trying to pull together a team of people around you that believe in what you have. Because if you're the only one that believes in what you have, sometimes there's a concern, because you're probably hearing something different. Sometimes your mother shouldn't be your biggest support, in a sense that saying, oh yes, everything she says is good. Always be a student of your job, of your gift, of your ministry. Be a student, be open to learn, and learn fast. Try to work. In building yourself, you probably need to think, how am I going to acquire the money to invest back into the gift or into what God has given me to present to people? So that's something that you have to think about. Because in working with someone who brings quality, it's going to cost. Because they pay for their time of learning, etc., etc. And as a result of that, it's going to cost more than the average Joe. You might go and knock up a guy and say, hey, I want to do production with you. It's different. Put yourself out there. But put yourself out there well, dressed well. Just try and represent yourself and God well, and whenever you step out to say, I'm doing this. Because believe it or not, you're competing. Right? There's no two way. You're competing in many ways of that word express. Young people are drawn to certain styles and so forth. And I'm not saying you should water down nothing that you're doing. I'm just saying that you have to bring quality, because you're already at a disadvantage if you're not. So you have to say, okay, how am I going to get my music to sound like it can be really listened to? So I think that is important. But as I said over and over, know for sure this is what God intends for your life, because it's not a bed of roses.